Right across the city on FM and around the world online. This is Unity 101. Tube's hyperspeed broadband allows you to download movies and dramas in seconds for just £25 a month. Get started today at toob.co.uk.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Police and Crime Commissioners Community Hour. This programme contains phone calls and comments from members of the public and selected invited guests. And it's important to remember at all times that any views and opinions expressed are individual opinions from these people and not those on Unity 101. Educational, discussions, informative, entertaining. The Community Hour. This is Unity 101.
Welcome to the Community Hour on Unity 101 on Wednesday, 13th of August, 2025. I'm Geeta Uppal, Senior Access and Widening Participation Officer at Southampton Solent University. And in today's Community Hour with my guests, the topic of discussion will be around GCSE and post-16 qualification results, with A-levels, BTEC and T-level results due on 14th of August and GCSEs on the 21st of August. The discussion will be about what support and advice is available to those unsure about their next steps. And during the show, we will also look at how parents, guardians and other members of a young person's support network can help them get through this period. On the show today, we're joined by Andy Grant, Executive Principal at the Lighthouse Learning Trust, and Emma Hebbes, Admissions and Enrolment Officer at Southampton Solent University. You can also be part of this discussion with your questions and comments. Please contact the studio on 023 8023 5055. With this, I would like to welcome my guests, Andy and Emma. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Geeta and Andy.
How are you both doing this morning? And thank you, this afternoon. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedules. I know, Emma, you're very busy, and of course, likewise, Andy, very busy with the results day looming tomorrow, coming to speak to our listeners here on Unity 101 this afternoon. So first, question to you, Andy, if you can tell us a little bit about your role at the Lighthouse Learning Trust.
Of course, Geeta, thank you for having me on today. The Lighthouse Learning Trust is a small sixth form academy trust that's operating in the Hampshire region. We have two sixth form colleges, Richard Taunton sixth form here in Southampton and St Vincent sixth form college in Gosport. And I have the privilege of being the executive principal for both of those colleges. Fundamentally, I am the senior lead for both sites and ensuring as a priority the quality of education and student experience is at its sort of highest level to support young people across the Southampton, Gosport and Fareham regions to access high quality post-16 education that supports their progression to university, employment or other post-16 opportunities.
Thank you very much, Andy. And Emma, can you talk to us a little bit about your role at the university?
Yes, of course. So I'm an Admissions and Enrolment Officer. So we basically work all year long to process applications for both your standard university courses, so undergraduate, postgraduate, PhDs, but also the Warsash Maritime courses as well, including the cadetships and the senior courses. So we basically assess all the qualifications that come through to us from all over the world. And then, one of our big main days is tomorrow on the A-level results day.
Wonderful.
Hopefully making dreams come true.
Great. Can I just ask both of you to come a little bit closer to your mic, just so our listeners can hear you loud and clear? Thank you very much. So, as you mentioned, the wait is almost over for our students. For all students who are taking post-16 qualifications, be it A-level, T-level or BTEC, the results are tomorrow. And then, of course, GCSEs next week. What can students really expect in terms of how could they best prepare for A-level results? Andy?
Fundamentally, the hard work has been done by the students, and we appreciate that obviously there has been a big gap between them finishing their exams and tomorrow they will get their results. Fundamentally, is to try and not worry as much as possible. Appreciate there will be some anxieties. The best thing to do is to try get yourself a good night's sleep. Fundamentally, your results will be your results, and whether they are really positive or maybe a slight disappointment, there's always an opportunity for you to progress to the next stage in your pathway. There are a range of options for you to be able to access your results, so it's important that you understand and know those Most colleges will share them online. Similarly, you can attend in person, and particularly at our colleges, we do encourage students to come to the college to sort of be part of what we see as a celebratory event, not just for the students but also the staff, who are similarly enthusiastic and keen to find out how their students have done, find out about their progression pathways, how they're going to get on, where they're going to go on to university, etc. So from my perspective, and as a parent myself of an 18-year-old that's recently sort of been through this, it is about just taking the time, reflecting, being with your friends and looking at the opportunity to celebrate hopefully some really good results.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And Emma?
Yep, similar to what Andy's just said, really. So don't panic. You've done the worrying before your exams. Worrying tonight isn't going to change your result tomorrow. You've put that hard work and effort in, but just make sure you do know what you've got as your plan of action for tomorrow morning. So your results will be released at 8 a.m. Head to your UCAS hub and you'll be able to see whether you've been accepted to your firm choice or whether you've had to go for your insurance choice instead. But if you have completely changed your mind, perhaps, then have that number of the university ready to call, maybe set an alarm to call them just in case, and yeah, just make sure you've got that plan of action for the day, for whichever results you receive.
Wonderful, thank you very much. So Andy, coming back to you, can you explain the GCSE grading system a little bit? I know the results are coming out next week for GCSEs, but however, for those who are waiting their post-16 qualification results, GCSEs will have some bearing on them. How important is it for a student to achieve a grade 4, which in old terms is a grade C, particularly in maths and English?
Yeah, I mean, I think as you've alluded to, the grade system changed a couple of years ago. So many people, particularly parents, may be familiar with the old A, B, C, D grade sort of system. That's been replaced by a 1 to 9, with 9 being the highest grade, the equivalent of an A star back in the older days, and a grade 1 being the lowest sort of pass rate. So the midpoint and the average sort of C grade is a grade 4. The majority of post-16 providers do require a minimum of 5 grade 4s or above to access level 3 study, although some courses, and particularly areas such as science and psychology, may require higher level qualifications at 5 or above in certain subjects, particularly maths and sciences, to access their programs. So whilst young people will have already applied to colleges in relation to the GCSE grades that they need, it is important that they look at ensuring that their grade profile represents and matches the entry criteria for those programs, not just for college but also for university as well. And whilst that may seem quite a bit away in terms of the decision making, many universities also do require certain GCSE grades in order to progress to post-college study. So the grade system itself is very much sort of built upon a progressive model from 1 to 9. Every student should be targeting a minimum of 5 at grade 4 and above, and the hope is that most of the listeners will be achieving beyond that and will have the opportunities to progress to level 3 study. But I'd also note, and it probably will come up a bit later in the programme, that if you don't achieve those grades, the desired grades, that 5 grade 4s or above, there are still a significant range of options for you to continue your studies and then progress to level 3 at the appropriate point. But I'm sure we'll come to that a bit further on.
Yes, of course. I was going to come to it straight away,
okay.
Andy. Yes. So you have alluded to it already in terms of there are certain subjects that you may want to study at A level or a B Tech or a T level that you may require a grade 5 or 6 or above.
That's right.
And if a student misses that by a near chance, there is some flexibility, I take it.
Yeah, there will be. It does depend on each college and how stringent they apply their entry criteria. And I think that's where it's important to understand what the offer at each college that you apply to is, because for an example, Richard Taunton and St Vincent has a very inclusive curriculum offer. We offer provision from level 3 down to level 1. So there are a range of entry points that young people can join our college regardless of their GCSE prior attainment.
Right.
Other colleges in the area will only offer level 3, so therefore may be more stringent in their entry criteria, which is why it's encouraged for young people to apply to more than one college so that there are options for them should they be unsuccessful in the higher grades. I mean, fundamentally, if your grades aren't in line with what you had hoped, or indeed aren't matching exactly the entry criteria of the college you wish to go to, my advice would be to go and visit that college, contact them on the phone and have a conversation with them. In some cases they will be flexible, they will provide an opportunity. If they're unable to do that, they will discuss with you the range of options that will be available either with them or locally.
Right, thank you very much. And then, Emma, let's say, obviously, tomorrow is a big day and lots of students will be getting their A-levels or T-level or BTEC results and hoping that they get into their first choice university. But let's just say they don't quite get the grades that they were expecting. They just had those near misses as well. Are there any options for them in terms of, can they universities have some flexibility, or would they have to reconsider their options? What can they do?
Yes, so there's always some flexibility, or at least we offer it at Southampton Solent anyway. So the best thing to do is actually to check your UCAS hub first thing, where we do have that wiggle room. Even if you haven't got the grades you were expecting or were predicted, we might still have been able to offer you a place. That goes for other universities as well. So even if you haven't got those results, log into your UCAS hub. You might find you're pleasantly surprised. But if not, it's not the end of the road. Obviously, there are foundation years offered for some universities as well. We've got an excellent range at Southampton Solent, all on our website. So they're just like a little bit of a stepping stone in a way, sort of warm you up for that first year of the course. A bit of extra support from the tutors. So yeah, try to stay calm and stay patient. The phone lines will be very busy tomorrow for all universities across the nation, I imagine. But we will get back to you. Just, make yourself a cup of tea, get a little biscuit, make sure you've had some breakfast and just try and relax whilst you're waiting. But yeah, definitely call the university that you're looking to go to if you haven't got your correct grades that you were hoping for, and see what else is available, because it might lead to something you never thought that you would be doing before and open up new opportunities you'd never considered.
No, wonderful, thank you. So the key message is not to panic.
Yes. Yes.
Great. So coming back to you then, Andy, what particular support then do you provide around sort of A-level, BTEC and T-level and of course GCSE Results Day? Do you have a team of staff that are available on hand on those Results Day to support those who might think, oh gosh, I haven't really done so well, but those who might think, oh, I've done really well, and what should I do? I might want to change my mind to do something else. How does that sort of work out for young people?
Well, fundamentally, the results sort of collection is just the first part of what is a really busy couple of days for us and our staff team. There will be young people who are unsure whether or not the pathway that they've chosen previously is going to still be the right one. There are others that want to consider their options. There are those who are actually going to be really unsure about what life will hold in the future, and it's a big step for them moving out of post-16 education into the young adult world, whether that's university, etc. So we do have staff available on site. We generally do throughout the summer anyway, to ensure that there's support and guidance available to students. So we do, as I say, encourage students to come to the college, or indeed they can contact us if they've got a particular query or requirement. Invariably we can either support them on site, or we do put them in contact with the universities. As Emma sort of alluded to, the local universities have a wide array of support services for those that have inquiries about their university programme. But we will have our careers and welfare services on site to discuss any concerns or issues that students or parents have. So either visit the colleges or just give us a phone call, and one of our staff will support the provision as needed.
Great. And just staying with you for a moment, Andy, then, from your sixth form perspective, how would you advise a student who's not happy with their GCSE? Well, we'll come to GCSEs after, but particularly tomorrow is the post-16 qualifications results day. So their A-level or BTEC or T-level results. Can they appeal?
There is an opportunity to appeal. Fundamentally, the process would be for the student and parent to have a conversation with the college. Invariably, that would be with the teacher or the curriculum manager to ascertain and understand the grades and what has occurred. Fundamentally, the college can submit a request to the awarding body to recall the paper,
right,
so that we have the opportunity to review how the paper was graded, and then based upon our professional assessment as to whether or not that grading is a fair reflection against the mark and entry criteria, we can take a decision as to whether or not we would submit an appeal to the awarding body. There is a very limited time frame for that though, right. So I think it's important to note that if you do wish to question or pose a challenge or appeal against any results, that needs to be done ideally within the sort of first week, because right, the awarding bodies have a very strict cut-off point, and that's also really key in terms of admission to university or progression to other areas, because universities will be making offers on the basis of results, and if the results change,
of course,
then subsequently we want the university to be aware of those as soon as possible, so they can either commit to an offer or provide advice and guidance around an alternative.
In your experience, Does that happen much? Appeals?
Not particularly. Invariably, appeals will often relate to students who may have failed a qualification, but may just be on the cusp of actually achieving a pass rate.
Right.
So the risk that comes with it, I should note as well, is that you can actually request your grades to be reviewed. That doesn't always mean your results can go up. Sometimes the grade can actually go downwards, and that's not to discourage anyone at all. But we would have a discussion with the student and the parent. It would generally only be if the results were very close to a grade point boundary. And for example, a student that was on a D grade, because the A levels still operate under the A, B, C, D, E grade sort of profile. If it was close to a C grade and that student needed the C to go to university, then we would obviously look at it and consider it. It's done on an individual basis, but we'll just encourage any parent or student to just be patient, talk to the college, and they will implement their internal processes.
Okay, and then just finally with the GCSEs, is the process the same if they wanted to appeal? They didn't quite not happy with their outcome.
My understanding is it is a similar process. Obviously, as a post-16 provider, our focus is on A-level, T-levels and BTECs, but we do GCSE English and Maths. The difficulty that some young people with GCSEs may find is that after results, schools are often still closed until the following week, so they would be best served going into the school or talking to the school on GCSE results day, because most schools don't start maybe to sort of a week after, so there is a little bit of a gap. The impact for post-16 sort of progression is not dissimilar from university. It can impact the grade profile. I think just make the college that you're applying to aware that you may have a grade dispute. And it may be that the college then proceeds with the enrolment onto a learning programme pending the outcome of that review, and can then afford a sort of student opportunity. That's what we would do in that circumstance. And
then finally, and this will probably have an impact on universities too, but then what advice would you give students, those who have done better than expected in their sort of A levels or BTEC and T levels, and they're then thinking, unsure, I was going to go to that university, but maybe I can get to another university? How would you advise them at the sixth form stage?
I mean, my advice at that point would be not to make a knee-jerk reaction. The students should have done a lot of research and have selected universities on the basis of not just what course they want to do, but the environment, the travel, the living sort of experience that they would have there. Invariably, if they have grades, I think actually I can go on to another university. Talk to the careers team. We would have to go through the processes through UCAS and clear, and talk to the universities if they've not already applied for that university program. I mean, fantastic. We would love to have more and more young people come in with that kind of question, because obviously it shows that they've excelled. But fundamentally, from my perspective, it is about understanding what it is you want to do, and if you do want to make a change, again, contact your careers team, contact the university that you may be looking to join, to go through their relevant processes and seek advice.
Great. So coming back to you then, Emma. So let's say, what can a student expect now? They've met their firm offer, their first choice university offer. So what can they expect? What should they be doing?
So you should wake up in the morning and feel very proud of yourself. You should feel proud regardless. You've had a hard journey to get to that point. Be proud, whatever. But you will find that your UCAS hub has changed to showing an unconditional firm offer now.
Right.
So that means you've met the conditions, and then you've got your place on that course. There might be a case where we haven't been able to make that decision, but you might have still gotten the grades that you did need to get. So it might just be that we're missing maybe a GCSE certificate or something like that. So check on your UCAS hub, and then go from there.
Great. So tomorrow, obviously, universities are all geared up to clearing. And that's the big day on results day for A levels and BTEC and T levels. Can you explain what clearing is and who can apply, and how does the process actually work?
Yep. So it's basically to help anyone find a place if they haven't had any offers, or if they've declined all their offers. So maybe had a change of heart halfway through the year and thought, I did want to study that, but now I think, that sounds really interesting, so I want to go do that instead. Or if you didn't perhaps meet the conditions of your original offer, or anyone that's not actually applied yet and suddenly thought, I'll give that a go. So anyone that wants to go through anything about clearing, we're always available on our clearing hotline, so 02380 011 722, and we'll be there from 8 a.m. and we'll also be available via WhatsApp, live chat, social media. So you've got all these different routes you can contact us on. But as I sort of said earlier, your first port of call is to check your UCAS hub, see if you've been offered that place from your firm choice. If not, then it might have been that you've been accepted to your insurance choice. And then if not, unfortunately, you will be into clearing, which then opens up a whole new world of opportunities for you. So after checking that UCAS hub, and if you do want to go somewhere else and not take up that firm choice or haven't been offered your firm or insurance choice, have a little look on the UCAS calculator on the UCAS website, and you'll be able to total up how many points you've got. And then get your UCAS application number ready as well for when you phone the university. So that's the next step, phoning that university that you're now wanting to go to. Similar to like Andy said earlier, don't jump into it. Have a little think, have a little look around, see what's out there. But some courses may start to close at certain universities if they do fill up. So sort of have that plan ready to go, whichever way your results go, whether they're better than expected or worse. But as I say, you can contact us on the phone. We've got that dedicated team ready to answer your call. But if you don't want to phone, we have got that clearing inquiry on our website as well. So you can fill out a nice little application form, upload your statement of results. We'll assess that, review that, and be back in touch if we can get an offer out to you. But the one thing I would also say is even if you don't hit the number of UCAS points that are required on the university website, do still get in touch with the university. As I said earlier, there is some leeway on the results day. Yes. So definitely inquire. Don't just assume, I haven't got that many points, so I won't even bother asking. Let us make that decision. We'll assess you on a case-by-case basis. We understand, not everyone has the best day on exam day. You might have done brilliantly through the year and then become ill. We offer all sorts of support for anyone that requires it. So do give us a call and we'll see what we can do.
And is that for students, as you mentioned, perhaps holding offers elsewhere, another university, and they still want to go through clearing, perhaps because they've done better than they expected or not quite so well as they expected? Should they still keep hold of that offer that they're holding with their current university before they sort of make a decision?
Yeah, so we would advise that. Make sure you keep that offer in place and then inquire with the university that you're looking to go to first, just so that you don't lose that place. So that's where the sort of clearing inquiry form on our website is really useful, because it won't change anything on your UCAS hub. So you're not declining anything, but we can assess your application essentially and let you know if we could offer a place, and then right, it's safe to decline that other offer that you've got, and you will have that safety net of us there.
Great. But GCSE results are coming out next week. So let's just say the courses that you offer that do require maths and English GCSEs, and the students don't quite have those grades as yet, those perhaps who might be retaking it at sixth form. What happens in that instant? Could they still apply through clearing?
Yes, of course. Yeah, we'd always encourage you to apply because we can just keep your application in that system ticking over until you receive that result back. Sometimes you might find we've been able to sort of, give that little bit of wiggle room to the GCSE as well. So we might have been able to review the rest of your application and go, you know what, this looks like a really good application. We'll make that place already, confirm that. But there are some courses where there isn't that wiggle room, unfortunately, where you've got those other governing bodies like the Nursing and Midwifery Council for the nursing courses. So we will definitely need to wait on those. But any other course that we can make an offer on, we will be looking to confirm as many as possible.
Wonderful. And what sort of at Southampton Solent, I suppose you're all geared up for clearing tomorrow.
Yes.
So what support is on offer for students who may be thinking about ringing you tomorrow? Where can they find information on the courses? Are most courses in clearing, or is there an open day coming up?
Yes, yep. So there's actually quite a lot going on, Geeta, actually. So the main place we'd encourage you to look is on our website and UCAS. So there's a range of information on there. You've got all the different courses that are open. It will say on our website if any of them are closed. And then again, we've got our clearing hotline. We've got the clearing webpage as well, which has some tools to help guide students through the process as well. So there's sort of a little flow chart on there so you can see what your next steps are. It sort of helps a little bit as well. If you are in a fluster, you are in a bit of a panic, it will sort of zone you back into what you need to do in that moment. And like I say, submit that inquiry on the website on the clearing inquiry form. There's no harm in doing that. The worst you can get is a no, but we've also got that range of foundation courses as well that we'll pop you onto if need be. And yes, we do have that open day as well coming up this Saturday, 16th of August. We will be making offers on that day as well. So if you're having any issues with the form or you haven't wanted to phone in, you can come and visit us and we can do that form for you, with you, and lend you a helping hand with a couple of refreshments as well.
Wonderful. So just to go on from there from Emma, the clearing website address is solent.ac.uk/clearing, and for the open day you can go onto the website again, solent.ac.uk/open-days, and I have it on good authority that if you're unable to book on the open day, you can actually just walk in and we will register you on the day itself. So there's lots of support available. So coming back to you then, Andy, so there's lots going on from the university side of things, and which I suppose does give your students the confidence that if they didn't quite get the grades that they wanted or things didn't turn out quite as they hoped, there is help, there are next steps, there are options for them. So in terms of parents, they tend to be sort of the key stakeholders who are always more perhaps worried in some sense than the students themselves. What sort of support does your sixth forms in particular provide for parents for Results Day? And, how can they then best support their son or daughter to manage their expectations?
I mean, I think the first thing I'd say, to come back to the previous point, is that clearing has been streamlined into a very easy and accessible system. So I think there's a lot that Emma's sort of talked about which actually may appear a bit daunting, but actually the process of clearing is very straightforward, very user friendly and very supportive. I think it's something that's really sort of important, and actually that helps us as colleges with a significant amount of work, because fundamentally a lot of what we do is refer on to advice to talk to the universities. So if there are any parents that do have sort of any worries or concerns, are looking for information, as with the students, it's a case of getting on the phone and making an inquiry, which we can look at on an individual basis, or similarly visiting the college and asking to speak to a member of the careers team. Invariably, if it is about progression to university, it may be a case of us supporting that initial interaction with the university for those that may be a little anxious or a bit unsure how to do it. But as Emma sort of alluded to, there's a wealth of information available across the local universities who are incredibly supportive, incredibly understanding as well, and will work to find a resolution that is in the best interest of the young person. So every college locally I would expect to have on-site careers and support provision. It's simply a case of parents and young people talking to the colleges. In terms of what a parent can do, it is about just trying to maintain as sort of safe and relaxed environment as possible. If your son and daughter's done brilliantly well, revel in that, celebrate it with them. If they are disappointed in terms of their results, it is about providing a sympathetic and supportive arm and assuring them that actually it's not the be all and end all. There are opportunities that will arise from this, and whether that means your pathway is a slightly longer one where you may study a longer sort of period, it may be at a different provider on a different course program, but it is a case of just taking some moment, taking stock, not worrying, and having the relevant conversations with the right people.
Absolutely, very, very sound advice there. So coming back to you, Emma, then on Results Day, do you get lots of parents phoning on behalf of their son or daughter?
Yes, we do. We get it throughout the year as well, Geeta. Yes. It's a bit of a tricky one because of the data protection laws. We're not actually able to speak to the parents unless we have got written permission. So if your son or daughter is in quite a panic, just get them to send a quick email to us just to say they give us permission to speak to your parent, and then we will be able to speak to them. Otherwise, unfortunately, we will have to speak directly with you. But a lot of the time, we won't don't need to. That's why we also put those other channels in place as well. Like Andy said, it can seem a bit daunting, all those things that we've got going on, but you just need to make that one inquiry on that one channel, and we'll get you through it. We're here to help and support you.
Of course, and you can bring your parents to the open day.
Yes,
which
of course.
Again
yes.
is on Saturday the 16th of August at Southampton Solent University. And to book, just go onto our website, www.solent.ac.uk/open-days. So just staying with you, Emma, for a moment, with regards to student finance, let's say if a student has already applied for student funding, does changing a university through clearing have any impact on their funding application?
So it shouldn't do, no. So once Student Finance have said, yes, you're eligible for funding, that should stay exactly the same. But after you enrol, the university will send instruction to Student Finance England to say, yep, this person's enrolled on this course. And if there's some discrepancies with what you've put on your student finance application, we have heard that it has caused delays in the past. So just to avoid the possibility of that happening, do let them know when you have accepted that place and you're 100% sure that's where you're going, that's what course you're going to be on, just so it all runs smoothly when you do start and you don't suddenly think, oh my gosh, I need my maintenance loan to come through or something, and it's not there. So make sure that you do let them know.
Okay, great. And if a student is applying for the first time to university through clearing, is it too late, or can they still apply for student funding?
No, you can still apply for student funding. That's absolutely fine. We would advise doing it as soon as possible. As I said, the university will confirm after you're enrolled to student finance, and then the funds will be released. So you won't have anything against your name if you don't enrol. So there's no harm in getting it done, getting it out of the way, getting it off your chest, knowing that you are actually eligible.
Indeed.
And then you're good to go.
Indeed, because the application can take a little long. It's all online.
Up to 6 weeks sometimes.
Yes.
I've never personally had it sort of take that long, or known any of my friends to have it take that long. But it can do, especially if you've had funding in the past perhaps and then changed to a different course or a different university. So best to get it checked and under your belt straight away.
Wonderful. And in terms of university student accommodation, is accommodation available if you're applying through clearing?
Yes, so it is still available. So we've got guaranteed accommodation as long as you confirm your place by the 4th of September, subject to availability. So it is still there and ready to go.
And then, Emma, when does clearing end?
So it's officially the 20th of October, but a lot of universities will close before then. So it is best not to leave it till that last minute. Obviously, like Andy said previously, don't panic, but there is still that sense of urgency there. You do need to, get your head straight as to what you actually do want to do, what you might not want to do anymore. Make that decision as soon as possible. So our enrolment starts on the 15th of September. So obviously if you leave it much later than that, you've missed a significant chunk of that teaching already, and there will be a lot of catching up to do. And starting university is quite stressful already for a lot of people. So you don't want that added catching up on top when you should be, enjoying that social side of it, making your new friends and really settling in. As soon as possible is better.
Excellent. So Andy, coming back to you next week, obviously tomorrow you'll be dealing with the post-16 qualifications results day, so A-level, B-Tech and T-levels. Next week is GCSE results, so you'll obviously be getting quite busy because that's your incoming cohort from secondary schools. In terms of sort of preparation for that, what sort of things would you be advising those students? Perhaps, can they physically come to the college if they haven't quite got the grades they needed? Can they come and talk to somebody?
So the process for colleges is that students go through what we call the enrolment sort of period. So once they've received their GCSE results, they would attend college for a course confirmation interview where we would review the GCSE grades they've got against the courses that they've applied for. And if they've matched that entry criteria, we'll enrol them onto that learning programme. And we actually start that next Thursday. So students gather their GCSE results in the morning, and at 12 o'clock that day we will have students coming into our college to start that cycle of enrolment, and we enrol over a period of about a week and a half. For the students that have already applied to Richard Taunton, they will have been sent information about their appointments and time slots so they can come in at those scheduled times. If they do have anxieties and worries because that time slot is a few days after their results, please feel free just to pop in and have a conversation with us. One of the benefits we have as a local provider at both St Vincent and Richard Taunton's is that we have a breadth of provision, not just at level 3 but at lower level study at level 2. So if students don't achieve the grades they need to go straight into level 3 study, they can do a 3-year learning programme with us, where the first year they would do the level 2, develop the GCSE grades and core skills they need to progress to high level study, and then move at the end of that year to level 3. So it's a really sort of busy period for us, not dissimilar from the enrolment and clearing process that universities have.
Brilliant, thank you. So we're coming towards the end of our chat here and discussion around clearing, and of course the A-level results day tomorrow and GCSE results day the following week. So coming back to you then, Emma, what one piece of advice would you give to students who are worried or anxious about receiving? I know we've talked a lot about that, but one thing you could say to them tonight, to sort of alleviate any of those concerns or anxieties?
Yeah, so I would try to look at it as an opportunity. So whatever happens tomorrow, you've done all you can, you've done your best, you've put the hard work in. You should be proud of what you've achieved, even just getting through college is a tough one. So yeah, see it as that opportunity to explore your different options. It might be a blessing in disguise, even if you think, okay, I'll take a year out, have a gap year, think about my options. We value more than just the grades, and yeah, see it as that opportunity really, because it might be the start of an exciting new chapter that you've never previously considered.
Excellent. And how about you, Andy?
Well, for me, life's a series of journeys, and sometimes those journeys are mapped out for us, and sometimes we have to take slight detours. And I use my own sort of life experience from that. I was one of those students that didn't achieve the grades at college that enabled me to go to the university that I wanted to. So I had to go through that process of firstly the disappointment, but then rethinking about what my future would look like. And that has not impacted or impeded my progression. I was able to go on to university, I've completed a law degree, I've worked in the voluntary sector and then education, and now I'm the principal running 2 colleges with multi-million pound budgets. So, the 18-year-old me was sat in my college very disappointed, upset, but fundamentally it didn't prevent me following a pathway. If anything, I learnt from that, developed that life skill. So I think I would say, really good luck to everyone tomorrow. If you are disappointed with what you received, fundamentally there are going to be opportunities for you, and you might find actually that opportunity leads you in a wonderful direction you hadn't foreseen.
Indeed. Thank you very much both. So just finally, if you are looking to sort of go through clearing, I can give you Southampton Solent University's clearing hotline number, which is 023 8001 1722. And of course, students can also email clearing@solent.ac.uk. The website address is www.solent.ac.uk/clearing. And of course, we've got the clearing open day on Saturday, the 16th of August from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And to book your place, you can go online on www.solent.ac.uk/open-days. And if you are unable to book for any reason before that, you can always walk in. Our doors are open and we will get you registered on the day. So it's really important to come and find out for yourself if, university is for you and if Southampton Solent is for you. And Andy, likewise, anything students can do now to look on to your 2 sixth forms?
Yes, so our colleges are still recruiting. We still have applications open. Fundamentally, those who've already applied will have been invited to attend enrolment, and we would encourage them to do that and have the opportunity to discuss their career and course pathways with us. If someone hasn't applied to us or hasn't considered Richard Taunton's at the moment, please look at our website. It's www.richardtaunton.ac.uk, and you can find details and information about how to apply. Simply just turn up, ask a question. Our staff are brilliant and very friendly, and they'll offer any guidance and advice that we can give you.
Thank you very much. So thank you very much both to Emma and Andy coming to our studios this afternoon, and I hope our listeners have found this discussion and information insightful and useful. And of course, we're wishing everyone all the best with their A-level, B-Tech or T-level results tomorrow, which is the 14th of August, and of course for GCSE exam results next week on the 21st of August. 2 busy big weeks, haven't we?
Yes.
Got it. And so next up is the drive time. So please stay tuned to Unity 101 Community Radio. Good afternoon.
Community Hour is aired live daily from Monday to Friday, always from 3 to 4 p.m. Community Hour is a flexible program, accommodating all sorts of discussions, debates, awareness about subjects and issues that affect and benefits the local community. Hosted by our volunteers, members of the public, and people from private and public voluntary sector organizations. Community Hour is not driven by party politics or religious objectives or any other propaganda, but to provide, share information and give advice, signpost listeners to professionals who would offer detailed service on a one-to-one basis. This is Unity 101 Community Radio on 101.1 FM and online www.unity101.org. Good afternoon.